Okay, this is Bonnie Calcagno again. I was woken up. I call it with an infrasonic weapon. It causes vibrations in the body, and that's how they wake me up every morning. Does it give me sleep deprivation? Yeah, because I'm not the kind of person that can go to bed when I want. I have a profoundly mentally handicapped brother, and there's lots of things to do before I can get to bed. And so I usually get to bed quite late, like early in the morning, 2, 3, 4. And so if you wake me up early in the morning, this time like they did today, you're giving me sleep deprivation. Now I'm making this, didn't even have my morning coffee, just decided to come over here and make this video for you. Remember Rand Paul wanted evidence of government gang stalking. What's going on? All right, what's going on is for 20 years I was mobbed, and I've been showing you pictures, I've been showing you evidence of that. Well, now it's different. It's reached torture and murder. That's what they're doing now. You want to arrest somebody, I'd go across the street and I'd check out that gang stalker because I think he's a big part of it. I'd check out the person that owns the twin house next to me, and I'd find out what that's all about, because I think whatever weapon they have, it's through the wall. So it's that. I would look at that, attached twin house. How do I feel? Rotten. My stomach has been bothering me for a while. Last night there was a lot of, I call it directed energy kind of weapons. Like, I have no idea, but it's my best guess. And it feels like little lightning bolts in different part of your body that cause pain. And that's what he was doing, like, a lot last night in different parts of my body. They try to intimidate you. And interestingly, went to Walmart last night, and when I came out, there was this guy that just stood on his horn. Constant horn beeping. Was it an alarm, whatever? Well, it just went on constantly. So I think that was kind of their message to me, that they're not happy with what I'm doing. So, but like I said, they've gone from mobbing since 2006, and now it's at torture and possibly murder. That's what that investigative reporter that left her house right away, who said they permanently harmed her. Am I permanently harmed? Well, right now it feels like electricity going through my body, so they're using, and I just got up. I was woken up by, I call it infrasonic weapon, because it causes vibration, and that's what I'm feeling right now in my body. I'm sitting at my desk. This is one of the worst places to sit, because this is where the vibration is the worst. Didn't have my coffee, but I'm just having some water. Okay. This is October at my website, which is not published. So we're just going to take a look at some of the pictures for October. Scrolling down. All right. As I get out of my car to go to the ATM, a red car passes in front of me. Now, this is mobbing. It's conspicuous surveillance. This program was started, I believe, by the FBI when in the Bush administration they wrote new FBI guidelines so that they could go after you with no suspicion of wrongdoing. Lots of people think today it's the fusion centers that target you. That may be true. In mobbing, it always starts with a relationship. This started when a lot of firemen were moving up into my modular development in Newburgh, New York. One moved next to me, conflict over boundaries, and also he didn't seem like a man to me. He was a fireman, but he seemed like a 10-year-old narcissist, would yell and scream in the yard. I mean, well, whatever. It started. I got targeted, and it's been going on ever since, and now it is at the torture death stage. As the investigative reporter who was hit with these weapons said, she's permanently damaged. Well, my stomach isn't that great, and my legs aren't that great because they keep hitting my legs. They don't want me to walk. All right, so here we are. That's ATM. Let's go down. Okay, after I leave the ATM, someone with a red jacket runs in front of my car. So this is what they did in the beginning. The anchor they used in my gang stalking was red. All right, let's see. Where is the person with the red jacket? I see red. Let's see red. Let's see if I get over there. All right, let's just keep scrolling. Here I am exiting the gas station where I just bought gas and lotto tickets, and we have our gang stalking firemen. Firemen gang stalk, EMS gang stalk. And when I was in Newburgh, there was a lot of both public and private ambulances got gang stalk. So what they did, they got all the first responders. Let me see if I can get the glare out of this thing. Okay, they got all the first responders to gang stalk. How do I feel about firemen? Well, they were at my house last night. My brother, who's profoundly mentally handicapped, he's legally blind, went to sit in the car, missed, got wedged into the car, and the firemen came to get him out because I wasn't strong enough. Nice guys, very nice guys, but they gang stalk. All right, let's keep going. As I pull into a parking space at Winco, a red SUV is passing in front of me. All right, so here I am. I'm parking, and just as I park, a red SUV passes in front of me. All right, this is conspicuous surveillance that they did for 20 years. So was I able to take a walk, a peaceful walk with my brother in the last 20 years? No, because of the fact that I'm gang stalked just like this. Now, what did I do? I pissed off a fireman neighbor in Newburgh, New York. That's what I did. I had a dispute over property boundaries. All right, let's keep going. As I get out of the car at Winco, a red car passes by. All right, so let's look at it. All right, so this is my car. I just got out of it, and a red car passes by. This is the mobbing that went on for 20 years, since 2006, wherever I went. Lots more went on too, but right now we're just focusing on the mobbing. Oh, I think I went up instead of down. Let's go down. As we walk into Winco, a man wearing red comes in front of us. Right, so here I am walking into Winco, and a man wearing red walks in front of us. So what did they use? They use red cars, red trucks, wear or carry red. They could have red sneakers, red hat. It's conspicuous surveillance. The FBI started this, from my perspective, when Bush and Cheney changed the FBI guidelines and made it legal to go after anyone with no suspicion of wrongdoing. In America, these people don't realize they killed the Bill of Rights. Now, right now, they're feeling pretty good because they're in charge. You know what's coming, fellows? Tech. You know what's coming? AI. You think they're going to want some psychopath gang stalkers? No. They're going to get rid of you, and they're going to get robots. And what's going to happen to you guys? I don't know, but there won't be a Bill of Rights anymore because you killed it. All right, let's keep going. When we come back to our car after coming out of Winco, a red car is there with its lights on. All right, so let's look at that. All right, so we've come back to our car. That automatic, that's not mine, but this is mine. That's the handle of the wheelchair that I will put in the car. So there's a red car there waiting for us. Imagine the manpower that was used to unremittingly harass this third grade teacher for 29 years. Imagine the manpower that they used to do this. What kind of a-holes are these people? All right, let's keep going. That's my brother's wheelchair. I have to put it in the car so we can go. All right, That's my complaints of something they did. All right, here I am at the big gang stalking corner of Rancho Doloro and Vista Way. That's probably the biggest gang stalking corner in Oceanside. This is the first big intersection when I leave my development. All right, so here it is. And you know what's good about me going out at night? I have to go out at night because as my brother got older, it just gets harder to get out, doing all the work I have to do. There's not that many cars, so it's easier to see the gang stalking. All right, let's scroll down some more. See any anchoring as I go to park in the Winco parking lot? All right, here I am, turning into the row to park. As I go to exit my car, a person with red in his hat walks in front of me. Like I told you, they'll have something red. Okay, we'll just look at this guy's hat. All right. Could be red sneakers. It could be a red shirt sticking out. There's my car. That's my car right there. All right, let's keep going. This is the gang stalkers who are now torturers and murderers and getting away with it. I can tell this on Twitter. Does anybody come to investigate what's going on in the house next to me? What's going on with the gang stalker across the street? Nobody investigates. Senator Rand Paul said, "Give me evidence." He doesn't. Congress, this has been going on for 20 years, and Congress doesn't know about it? I have to give them evidence? Let's keep going. And I like Rand Paul. He's at least a civil liberties guy. Most of Congress isn't. All right, as I'm leaving the Winco parking lot, our gang stalking police are here. Okay, so I'm being mobbed by a police SUV as I leave Winco. Police gang stalk, firemen gang stalk, security guards gang stalk, EMS gang stalk, ambulance drivers, both public and private. There was that in New York. There was a lot of public and private, and they used to gang stalk me. I'd be taking a walk, and there they were. Here it's EMS. All right, let's keep going. Here I'm in California now. I wondered if I came to California, would it be here? Yeah, it's here. And on the way over, I was gang stalked to New Mexico, Texas, Arizona. Some states on the plains, I wasn't gang stalked. Wondering, is it not there? I think it's in all 50 states. I don't think there's any place you can hide. The investigative journalist who was being physically attacked because she wrote about the scientists that were missing, the sex scandal. She went to Mexico. So no gang stalking in Mexico. It'll get there, don't worry. See any anchoring as we park to shop? All right. This is called anchoring. Like, well, that truck is just coming into the parking space. So that would be gang stalking, but this would be anchoring, where they just have a red car parked where they know you're going to go. As we return to our car after coming out of the store, a red SUV is there with its lights on. All right. So does this look like CVS? I don't know. It looks to me like CVS. But I'm returning to my car, and there is a red vehicle with its lights on. All right. That's our gang stalkers. Are you financing this with your tax dollars? I don't know. All right, now I'm trying to scroll down. Come on, let's scroll down. Come on, scroll. All right. As I put our bags in our car, a red car passes by. All right, so let me put the bags in my car. All right, and a red car passes by as I do that. This, I call them our American Stasi. In Stasi's Germany, a percentage of the population were spies. Well, look at what Dick Cheney did to America. A percentage of our population gang stalks. All of law enforcement, I can't go complain to the FBI. I can't go to complain to the police because they're all gang stalkers. As we wait for the light to turn on Vista Way, which takes us to our development, our gang-stalking police turn in front of us and ride in front of us all the way to Vista Way. So let's look at them. Can't go to police anymore. They'll tell you, if I tell them about gang stalking, they'll say, honey, are you on drugs? Do you have a mental problem? They used to do that in Russia and China, right? Put people in mental institutions, political dissidents, and now we have our police saying, are you taking something? Are you taking a prescription? Gang stalking? You're saying that you're gang stalked by red cars? Rand Paul, give me evidence. All right, let's keep going. And I like Rand Paul, by the way. All right, as I enter my development coming home and go up Wayna Hills, one car is coming down. You want to see the car as I go up my development and coming home? One car is coming down. Now remember, I'm driving, so this isn't going to be a great picture, but it's a red car. I take my profoundly mentally handicapped brother for a walk in our backyard, and immediately below, there are snakes in the grass who try to hide what they do. Siren sounds of the government gang stalkers in their program of unremitting harassment begins. In other words, they do this all the time, all the time. I leave my house to go out, siren sounds. I go into my backyard, siren sounds. Are they real siren sounds? I doubt it. I think they just have this thing that makes siren sounds, government gang stalkers, of Costa Serena, the development where I live. Okay, let's see. Probably I'm complaining about what they're doing to my TV there, because the electronic harassment, they would open my garage door day and night, so I had to take off the electric garage door opener. All right, let's see if do we have any more pictures? Or is that it for today? All right. As we're walking out of Albertsons, a red truck is pulling in. All right, so here it is. We're coming, and look, it's why it's good to take pictures at night, because there's hardly anybody there at night. Parking lot's pretty empty. But as we are walking out of Albertsons, a red truck just pulled in. This is not all they do, and now they torture, and they don't only torture, they're trying to kill me. As we exit the row we parked in Albertsons, a red truck stands with its lights on. Okay, we saw that. All right, there it is. Take another picture of it. All right, keep going. Here I am pulling into a parking space at Walmart as a red SUV passes in front of me. All right, so I pull in at Walmart, and a red SUV passes in front of me. This is same time exit entry. All these things are same time exit entry, which is a very big pattern. I'm going to take a drink of water. I didn't have my coffee today. All right, so same time exit entry, big gang stalking pattern. When I enter or exit anything, something in red passes by. I can go out to pick up an Amazon package and I'm mobbed. Here we've just returned to our car after coming out of Walmart. A red car passes behind us. You've seen this again and again. There's my brother's wheelchair. I've obviously put him in the car. I'm on the passenger side of the car, and a red car passes behind. You've seen this over and over. Well, imagine how many times I've seen it in the last 20 years. Could I take a walk in peace like a normal person? Not with the U.S. government gang stalking going on. And they get pissed off when you do this. So they're torturing me because I'm revealing this. And last night when we went to Walmart, they were pretty pissed off. They just sat on that horn when I came out of the store. As I go to leave my development and going out, a red car passes in front of me. All right, so it kind of snuck over to the right-hand side as I go to the corner. Are American Stasi, who now torture and kill. And I can say it on Twitter all I want, and nobody comes to investigate, nobody comes to help. This is the United States in 2026. And buddies, if you celebrate that birthday in July and say all those BS things that you're going to say about a country that has lost its Bill of Rights, a country that has an American Stasi, a country that now tortures people and kills people, you start telling me about this country. The phonies. Here I've come out of the food mart at the gas station where I often buy my lotto tickets. All right? So here I am. It looks like I am going from the parking lot to the road, and there is the American Stasi gang stalking. As we're walking into Albertsons to shop, a red car passes behind us. That's my brother. How have I taken care of him for 20 years with this shit going on? I back out of my garage and start taking a garbage can out before I go, when a man across the street gets out of a truck at the same time. That's called same-time exit entry gang stalking. I notice because same-time exit entry is the primary mobbing pattern in government gang stalking. Now, it used to be in Newburgh, New York, that they would do this in red. That's how I found out about it. You know, I would leave my house, a neighbor in red would come out of their house. I have that they would do it in red, but now everybody knows, especially in this development, that there's gang stalking going on, and so they don't do it in red in the neighborhood, but it's the same pattern. It's still same time exit entry. So I back out of my garage, a person pulls up. That's still same time exit entry, but they don't do it in red. But as soon as I get out of my development, then it starts in red. So here they're trying to be a little coy because everybody in this development knows what's going on. One lady who is like, I don't know what her position is, but we don't have an HEO, but we do have some kind of thing there. And she just told me, she says, I think this is a disgrace. When another person in Oceanside told me, we know this is going on, but we pretend it isn't. When I take my second garbage can out, the man across the street goes back into his truck and leaves. Same person doing same time. Now, am I saying the man across the street is a government gang stalker? No. Because I never say anyone is a gang stalker. How would I know their intentions? How would I know that? The only thing I show you is the patterns. And this is the same time exit entry pattern. First time I went out of my house, pulls up. Second time I go out of my house, goes back to his car. I enter exit, they enter exit. That's the pattern. Do I say they're a gang stalker? No, because I wouldn't know that. I'm not a mind reader. All right, as I'm pulling into a gas station where I regularly buy my lotto tickets, boy, do I buy lotto tickets. I'm a poor person. It's the only way I'm going to get rich. A man with a red jacket is walking out. So I'm walking in, and a man with a red jacket is walking out. Here I am coming out of my car to go buy my lotto ticket. Okay, so I'm still buying lotto tickets, and they're still gang stalking. As I pull into a parking space to go into Home Depot, a man with red shorts walks in front of my car. All right, let's look at that. All right, here I'm going to park. I'm in Home Depot, and a man with red shorts, part of our American Stasi since Bush Cheney. The evil Cheney, you can't convince me otherwise, started this. The evil Cheney who didn't believe in democracy. The evil Cheney who, didn't care that people didn't want to go into Iraq. He just lied about it, got us in there. he thought elites like him should run the country, not citizens. All right, so let's look at some more. Here I am opening my front door to retrieve an Amazon package. Now remember, in my development, they don't wear red. They just do same time exit entry. Oh, I guess somebody is wearing red here. That's a surprise. So I go out to get a package. Remember, they're reading my emails. Are there some... I have never noticed Amazon drivers, but I did notice UPS that I suspect were American Stasi. So they've infiltrated, like, you know, when I took my brother to the hospital, that's where I was mobbed the most, in the hospital. Fire people there, the EMS, and, you know, there were nurses in red. You know, when I started reading the literature on gang stalking, and there are sage publications, like there are journals, one of the professions that has the most mobbing, nurses. It seems people that work in a group where, you know, they need other people to have their back, those are the professions, police, firemen, nurses, that gang stalk. Does it happen in colleges with college professors? Yes. Read the literature. Mobbing is very widespread. All right, as I arrive in front of Target, a man in red is there. So they know the stores that I go to. They read my emails. Am I returning something to Target, whatever? Or do they just have a lot of people in red where you typically go? I don't know how they do it, but they do it. All right, so here I am arriving at Target, and you see a lot of people? No, it's at night, but you do see a man in red. As I get out of my car to go into Target, a red car passes behind me. As I start taking our things out of the trunk that we take in the store, a wagon that I hitch to my brother's wheelchair, etc., a second red car passes behind me. Here I am taking my things out of the car. All right, I just show this because probably they're doing noise harassment, and this is on KCRA. They did a report about the harassment of the city manager of Stockton, who wouldn't give the police a contract. So what'd they do? They bought the house next to him to make construction noises to harass him. Our gang stalking police of Stockton did that. As we're walking into a store to pick up a couple of things, a red SUV passes behind us. There's my brother. He pushes the wheelchair until he gets tired, then he sits in it. He doesn't realize he's been mobbed for 20 years. That's good. When we arrive back at our car after shopping, a red car passes behind us. I always park at the corner because my brother is handicapped. Now remember, they're torturing me now. They're trying to kill me. Maybe they're killing me. Certainly they killed Ranuti Kildare, however you pronounce her name. She was a doctor in Finland. Her husband was a diplomat. They would go extensively to international conferences. She also talked about seeing an alien in Russia, like the evidence of it in Russia. So aliens may have been here for a while. But anyway, she found the manual of government gang stalking. She published it in one of her books. She died of multiple tumors throughout her body, and some of her friends believe she was murdered. Okay, we'll just take a look. What does this say here? You may wonder why I don't put my garbage cans out on the curb why I put them out on the curb instead of the road. When you're unremittingly harassed by government gang stalkers, first responders, neighborhood watch group members, citizen corps, they can always be blocked by a car parking in front of them. Gang stalkers try everything to unremittingly harass. So I guess I'm just showing how they park so that you have a hard... like, how's the garbage man going to pick up that garbage thing with the car parked in front of it? As I get out of my car, first a man with a red hat passes in front of me, next a red car passes beside me. So here I am getting out of my car, probably to go shopping. First, this man with a red hat passes in front of me. I'm always parked at the corner in the handicap space. And then a red car passes in front of me. There's the handicap space. My brother has a real hard time walking now. He's 66. Then as I'm getting my brother's things out of our hatchback to go into the store, a red SUV. As I get the wheelchair out, as I get the wagon out, then a red... Imagine how many people they needed to gang stalk me the last 20 years. And like I say, what I think they're doing is they just... By getting them to do that, when they need them for something big, it'll be there. So they get them to do, just harass this third grade teacher for 29 years. Coming to another picture. As I arrive at the 76 gas station where I usually buy my lotto tickets on the way to Walmart, one person is at the pump wearing red sneakers. So they wear red hats, they would have a little red sticking out of their jacket as they're walking by. Our American Stasi, conspicuous surveillance, thank you, Dick Cheney. As we're entering Walmart, a person in red is exiting. So here we are entering, they are exiting, same time exit entry, gang stalking. As we arrive back at our car after shopping at Walmart, a red SUV is passing in front of it. Rand Paul, is this enough evidence for you? Let's see, this is my 4th video that I am publishing. That gray car is mine. And we're just getting back to our car. I'm going on the passenger side, obviously, to put my brother in the car. And a red car passes in front of us. 20 years of gang stalking, and now torturing, and are they killing me? Well, my stomach doesn't feel too great. Let's see, one picture. Right after I get up, when I get up, the first thing I do is check for packages. I order a lot from Amazon and other online stores. All right? So here I am, checking for packages, opening my door. They read my emails. They surveil me inside the house. So they know when I'm going to the door. Do they get your neighbors to gang stalk? They get your neighbors to gang stalk. They just socially isolate you. Someone walks in front of my car in the middle of the road. So here I am driving, and a person in red, and this probably has a speed limit of 40 miles an hour, walks in front of me as I'm driving in the middle of the road. As we walk into the store to shop, a red car passes behind us. Okay. Who bought the red cars? Did they get a stipend? As I put things into our car to go home, a red car passes behind us. And now they torture and kill. Started out as mobbing, let them do it for 20 years, and the next step is to torture whistleblowers and journalists. A journalist had to flee to Mexico because she was being hurt with directed energy weapons. And you know who the hero is in this? Catherine Herridge. That woman is doing, her father was in the military, so I guess she's got that fighter spirit. She's been doing outstanding reporting on directed energy weapons, microwave weapons, and Judicial Watch is our heroes who are now, with their lawsuits and their freedom of information to the intelligence agencies. Everybody praises Tulsi Gabbard. She hasn't helped me, but I'm sure she's doing wonderful things. I had great hopes for her. Let's keep going. As I get out of my car, a man with a red stripe on his shorts walks behind my car. So here I am exiting, that's my car, and a man with a red stripe walks behind my car. Just showing you all the way they mob. As I went to take my brother's wheelchair out of the back of the car, a red truck passes. Okay? This is just for one third grade teacher for 29 years. They have all these people mobbing. And now they're torturing me. I think with they wake me up. And they used to wake me up with noise, the power equipment. And now they do it with, I think it's an infrasonic weapon, because those kind of weapons, the non-auditory type of infrasonic with low decibels, they cause vibrations in the body, and that's what's going on. I did a video about that, which you could go to my YouTube channel, bonnieleec. Just put in the search box on YouTube, BONNIELEEC, all one word, channel, in the search box, and you can go to my website, then go to the playlist, Government Gang Stalking Described, and you could see the last video I did was on infrasonic weapons. As I go to take my brother out of the car, a man wearing red walks by. Are you getting tired of this? All right. Okay, so I'm going to wind this up now. And what I'm going to do, and did I tell you, like, if I walk up and down my street, no vibrations in my body, but I have walked like all around my house to the surrounding yard. In every inch of my yard, I experience the vibrations in my body. But if I leave my house, my yard, they want me to sell my house. They want you to be destitute, and I'm pretty close to destitute anyway. But they want you to be homeless. Like, you know, at least I have a tiny, tiny, tiny bit of a support system in Oceanside, and that is the people in stores. Like, I know the people in stores, they're very friendly, so I have a little bit of a support system here. If I went to another place, it would just be the police saying, "Are you on drugs? Have you ever gone to a psychiatrist?" And you'd have the neighbors gang stalking you, and you know, oh, I want to tell you something else. You know what they did? My IRS check. A little pissed about that, because I'm a poor person. I don't need that money. I made my tax return back in February. Here it is, end of May, going on June. Still haven't received it. And the reason is, you know what they did? Silly me, I use the IRS software. We know how the IRS goes after whistleblowers and things like that. When I got the tax return, like, I sent it in because I said, this is the IRS, you know, I didn't even think twice about it. I looked at it, income, $35. So what do? I had to do an amended return, and it's just been one thing after another. They send me letters, we need more information, and so here it is. I still haven't got. Now, who put $35? Now, then I found out that was just the copy that I had. They actually filed it right, but I think the IRS told me that they added a lot of forms that were unnecessary. So anyway, but I still haven't gotten my refund. Thank you, Government Gang Stalkers. All right, let's keep looking. Here I am getting gas. Red car. All right, I'm going to look at about 4 more, and then I'm going to go. All right, here I am turning right to go into Walmart. The Government Gang Stalking pattern here is red car, first in line at the intersection. If you are a police or a fireman, you can regulate lights. I think gang stalkers can do it too, because one big pattern you see on the road is red car first at the intersection. Now, when my dog was alive and we would take walks in the community, I would say red cars parked at the houses at the end of the street very, very often had red cars parked in them. So when they set up neighborhood watch groups, and George Bush doubled the size of neighborhood watch groups, and I believed, I said for years that those are the people that gang stalk. Some people today say it's InfraGard or Citizen Corps. But when I was taking walks with my dog and my brother, I would be passing by and a person in red would come out of the house. I would go to the corner and a red car would pass in front of me. There were red cars parked in the houses at the corners. If I would pass the condominium, there would be a red car parked at the end of the condominium. So that's why I thought that it was our neighborhood watch groups, which George Bush did double the size of our neighborhood watch groups. All right, let's look a little bit more. Okay, I'm going to do 4 more and I'm going to go. All right, as we go into Walmart, a person in red walks out. So here I am entering the store. A person in red is walking out. Okay, we'll do 3 more. Let's read this thing here. When I go to retrieve an Amazon package, a person with red comes out of the house across the street. I notice because one of the times I am mobbed is when I open my door to retrieve packages. All right, so I don't know. Let's see. Let's gotta zoom in on that. The house across the street, right, this has changed hands a lot of times. And now the biggest gang stalker on the street lives there. All right, unremitting harassment of Bush neocon. What do they do? Interference with my TV, beeping for harassment, siren sounds for harassment. They have malware on my computer. Looking for a picture. I go into my backyard to work on my brother's bike, and the very low siren sounds begin. Can you sit in your yard? I haven't been able to for 20 years. All right, I may just have a lot of talking here. Okay, looks like that's the end of the pictures for October. Okay. I'll just let's go. I'm not going to do this. I'm just going to show you something. I think this will be my last video. I don't think I'm going to keep doing this, but I'll just show you. If I were to pick another random one, what would I say? Let's go to November of 2023. All right. Going for the pictures, right? Obviously noise, because I got that picture again. Oh, there's my story. You can read it at bonnieleec YouTube channel, my YouTube channel. I explain about anchoring. Probably showing you how they interfere on my TV. That's one of the magnetic signs I used to have on my car. All right, here's the pictures beginning. I'll just do 2 on this and then we'll go. As I go to enter the Winco parking lot, a red SUV is in front of me. All right, so same patterns month after month. As we're walking into Winco, one person is walking out with red sneakers. Same, I could go to any month, same pattern. Oh, he's got red gloves on. That's creative. Is that a red car that passed in front of me? I don't know. It's nighttime. Here we are returning to our gray car after coming out of Winco. All right. So what you can see, same pattern, month after month. These are the month. Let me just show you. I used to have this website published, but can't afford it anymore. And plus, it's a pain in the neck. I don't think I'm going to do it again. But all right. So here, just showing you the months of pictures that were on this website. Okay. So probably this is going to be the last one I'm going to do. It's the same pattern that you see month after month. I did this because Rand Paul had said that he wanted evidence of gang stalking. And so this is my evidence. All right, now I'll go get some coffee and I'll decide how to live in a house where you're being tortured, where there are directed energy attacks, which feels like lightning bolts. It's like, you'll feel a pain in your side, or a pain in your leg, or a pain in the fourth finger on your right hand, or a pain in any part of your body, because they can do it with any part of your body. Or you can feel the vibration torture, which can be just in a part of your body, or it can be from your feet to your chest. And that's when it feels like you're having a heart attack. And if you look at my video that I did on infrasonic torture on bonnieleec, my YouTube channel, you will hear that video, and you will hear the research on it, because I found an article from Science Direct and how that can harm you permanently. So you can read that. It's on my YouTube channel. Do I want to turn this off and live in this house? No. Do I buy lottery tickets so I can get out of here? Yes. Have I won? No.